Or I call it a chuckle addendum at this point. It's still the 23rd of December, 2023. It's about 5 minutes before 10 o'clock in the morning. I'm not even alive yet or awake yet. I was talking about things happening yesterday and ended off the tangent regarding earthquakes. I could go on a video and a half or more than that regarding earthquakes, but I'll tell you something, these damn things still scared the shit out of me. A 3.5 I could sleep through, a 2.25 or anything below that, you know, it's like, what the hell was that? Yeah, it's me bumping. 4, that'll get my attention, automatically. 5, yeah, you definitely got my attention. 6, well, let's see, things are shaking apart. 7, yeah, near disaster. 8, we're dead. That's how it is. California, we're too damn laid back about the damn shit. We deal with wildfires in the hills because we didn't get enough moisture, or if we did get moisture, about 6 months after that, when it dried up, they're ready for burnout. The ground gets too damn super saturated. We have hillsides out in Palos Verdes still collapsing. We had to shore up certain areas out by, what was it? The Rio area? No, that's northern. I'm talking about southern area. Closer to the San Onofre area. Southern California. Bordering on the Orange County and San Diego County areas. That we had landslide movement of the earth that disrupted the tracks out there. So they had to take months to get stabilization in the soil and to repair the rail necessary for us to have transportation from here to San Diego. Actually from Los Angeles to San Diego. Or up north to San Diego, down the coastline. There have been places that we've actually had derailments happening because of geologic movements, but you know, they're shifted. Ground shifted. A lot of moisture, a lot of instability in the rocks themselves. And when there's too much lubrication in there, we get red zone neighborhoods left and right. Geologists are having a field day over some of our coastline over here because we're getting saturated too much, and we're also losing ground, literally, underneath our feet. So it's that kind of way that we're having these days. I make a joke out of it from time to time because sometimes I think it is funny for me, but the problem is, geology isn't funny half the time. It's downright terrifying. Now, if we can look at how the Earth moves in real time, you know, it looks too damn slow for us, except for a few things that are just instant, quick. We get a lot of deluge from the sky or from somewhere else melting, and then the ground starts slipping away, and we get slides all over the place, and real estate property goes. When we had our earthquakes between 71 through now, I try to keep an ear open. I try to keep a tab on these things. Where they are, what kind of strength, what's happening to the geology in the area. You know, my head kind of works under problems. I generally don't pay attention to it consciously, but subconsciously I'm still keeping track of all this damn stuff because it is geology. It is stuff that's happening to us these days. I'm not running around over here and screaming my head off saying, the world's coming to the end, everything's sliding over and we're shaking and we're like, no, well, it's not coming to an end. Just our own little neighborhood's gone hell in a handbasket because we're dealing with a geologic function here. The shifting of matter. I can say it in a scientific, clinical, cold-ass way. But when you have these situations happening, where a 4 could feel like it's almost the end of the world. I mean, probably been having experienced the earthquakes enough to be jaundiced, to be callous to it, to have the thick moleskin on you, so to speak. That you're not feeling it. You're immune to it. But the intensity shakes within about a few seconds or less than that, and you're feeling the aftershocks even worse and worse and worse. That's when the panic really kicks in, because now what do you do when you're seeing things falling apart left and right? Now, the construction in this particular place is about 15, 20 years old. So during those days, they were current up to the earthquake standards we got. So yeah, it'll stand a 6 joiner for the distance. Closer to that, I don't know. I'm always wary about the fault lines we have surrounding the Antelope Valley. You know, you look at the maps concerning about the Antelope Valley, you see the mountain ranges. Down below the San Gabriel's, up above is the Gorlek fault line. Somewhere in there is the San Andreas fault line within a rock and roll. It extends all the way up north. Right through San Francisco. You got the North American plate, you got the Pacific plate. And they're shuffling along. In certain areas of the plate, they'll go right underneath the other one. And you get the movement like crazy. Or after you have the plates shuffling aside or just elevating themselves, you'll get the energy, the earthquake. So whenever the earth is moving, that's where you're feeling the energy. Rocks will store the energy like crazy to a point until they're saying, okay, that's it, we're enough. Time to shuffle. Time to shuffle. All hell breaks loose. I've been a native. No, it's not being a native. I am a native of California. Born here in the 60s, so yeah, I remember the 71 quake of Sylmar. I remember the 1987 quake, near Narrows, and the quakes before that. The little shocker sometimes. The main shock I always remember, because I was a few blocks away from this monster from hell. The 94 earthquake in Northridge. They call it Northridge, but it was basically Reseda starting it all. And Northridge just kind of became a disaster zone and Granada Hills and everybody else around in the area. But because they thought the center of it was Northridge, California. So everything's there. Everything's there. So now we're dealing with that. I can deal with the earthquakes on some occasions. On other occasions, I'm like, oh shit, here we go again. PTSD flare up, freak out. Start thinking about all the stuff I've got over here and stuff I didn't get. Last night while we had a power outage, I was thinking that. The equipment and materials and supplies I needed, I was running on scrounge with what you got and deal with it. You can't prepare yourself for every dead contingency because every contingency has its own way of dealing with things. So basically, I'm just dealing with everything else going on right now. All right, now, since I hadn't had any breakfast, I'm overdue. Well, I didn't eat anything last night, so I think my stomach's entitled to a bit of nutritional break, don't you think? I think so. Besides, I don't want to start passing out anyway. That'd be very bad for me. Anyway.